That time I got reincarnated as a slime is such a diverse world filled with beings that are extremely powerful and undoubtedly stand on top of the world as the strongest beings. But even though Rimuru and many of the awakened true demon lords are one of the strongest beings in the world on par with the true hero, they are still in fact inferior when it comes to the true dragons, the highest spiritual beings and considered to be the strongest existence in the world. So in today's video, let us take a look at the true dragons of the Tensura universe and a spoiler warning as some information will be from the light novel and manga. Also, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribing to the channel for more Tensura videos. Now, before we begin, what exactly is a true dragon? Well, basically they are the highest tier of divine spirits or beings known as the perfect ones. They are extremely durable spiritual life forms that do not possess any physical bodies, but they do occasionally take a physical form in order to appear in front of others or simply because it's convenient for them. The true dragons are considered to be immortal and perfect beings comprised of pure energy and is said to be formed by the prayers of sentient beings that worship them. They are also beings that can never be truly killed, and even if they are somehow killed, they will eventually be reborn as a new true dragon with the same natural attribute of their previous self, but they do not retain any memories from their previous life. In total, there are only 4 true dragons in the entire Tensura universe. Starting with the greatest of the true dragons and the strongest among them, we have VELDANAVA, or also known as the Star King Dragon. He is the god that created the Tensura universe, the being behind the voice of the world, along with creating other multiple worlds as well. Before he created the universe, he is said to have possessed omnipotence and omniscience, but he decided to abandon this because he said it would be too boring to know the end results of his creations. His creations would one day evolve and progress into beings with their own sentience, free will, emotions, and intellect. But as we all know, these things always come with a price, and his creations will eventually start fighting one another. But VELDANAVA had expected that war will happen no matter what and accepted it as a necessary evil for the evolution of his creations. That's why he had created 2 groups of beings to watch over his creations, one out of the Great Spirit of Light, which was the angels or SERAPHIM, and another out of the Great Spirit of Darkness, which was the primordial demons. Additionally, he had ordered them to not interfere too much with the world, so he assigned the main role of being the Watcher to 3 individuals, with Dino from the angel side, Ramirez from the spirit side, and Guy from the demon side. VELDANAVA eventually fell in love with a human named Lucia who was also an otherworlder like Rimuru, and they had a daughter named Milim. When Lucia was pregnant with Milim, VELDANAVA apparently had most of his powers transferred to Milim, and as a result he was weakened greatly. This is why powerful monsters deem this kind of behavior as taboo. After Milim was born, VELDANAVA and his wife were eventually killed when the world system that he created backfired on him, because according to the parameters he set for the world system that God must love all beings equally, he had broken the rule and cared for Milim more than anything else in the world, which made him and Lucia as a threat, and thus the world system had to eliminate them. But before he was killed, he used the last of his energy to create a pet dragon as a gift to Milim, and subsequently this pet dragon would also serve as a vessel for his eventual reincarnation, which never came true, as the pet dragon would be killed by a nation that was targeting Milim. This would cause Milim to go berserk, and in her anger she destroyed the nation and awakened as the second true demon lord. After the pet dragon died and became a chaos dragon as a result of Milim becoming a demon lord, its very essence had spread to areas high in magical concentration, which resulted in the creation of the dragon race. Being the strongest true dragon, VELDANAVA had possessed 3 ultimate skills, and the first one was Justice King Michael, the second was Covenant King Uriel, and the third one was Creation Lord Ahura Mazda. Moving on, at some point 3 other true dragons were born into the world, and they were VELZARD, VELGRYND, and Veldora. Now, although they do refer to each other as brother and sisters, they are in fact not related in blood. And the first one to be born and the second oldest of the true dragons was VELZARD, or also known as the White Ice Dragon. She is the older sister to both VELGRYND and Veldora, and in terms of power and magic, she is only second to VELDANAVA. Although she has the appearance of a beautiful young white-haired girl, she is in fact very prideful and arrogant arrogant, even becoming jealous of VELDANAVA respecting Guy and giving him important roles. In the past, she would often punish Veldora for causing too much destruction and chaos to the world that VELDANAVA created, and most of the time Veldora would be left on the brink of death or outright killed after these punishments. VELZARD usually spends her time on the ice continent inside the palace of White Ice with his partner Guy Crimson. Being a true dragon attributed with ice, the ice continent was constantly in a state of permafrost thanks to her insane magical aura. She possesses the ultimate skill, Patience Lord Gabriel, a skill that allows for the ultimate defense by literally freezing and slowing anything in its path. Next is the second to be born and third oldest of the 4 true dragons, the Scorch dragon VELGRYND. As the name implies, she is known for her scorching fire abilities and is also considered to be the fastest true dragon in existence. She doesn't only have powerful fire abilities, her personality is fiery as well, being a very impulsive and hot-headed person, and occasionally goes into arguments with her sister VELZARD and sometimes fighting with Veldora, but in reality she is just a very compassionate person that cares a lot about her allies and family. VELGRYND currently resides in the Eastern Empire because she formed an alliance with them and should later fall in love with Rudra, the Emperor of the Eastern Empire. Being Rudra's lover and partner for many eons, VELGRYND has dedicated herself to him and will stop at nothing to help him to achieve his ambitions of defeating Guy Crimson. She is the literal embodiment of acceleration and high momentum, which correlates to her ultimate skill, Charity King Regel. Later on in the series, Rimuru's evolved Wisdom King Raphael helps to develop VELGRYND's ultimate skill by combining Charity King Regel and Covenant King Uriel to create Flame God Katuga. Finally, we have Veldora, or also known as the Storm Dragon. He is the youngest of the 4 true dragons and prone to go on rampages often because he is very energetic and prideful and likes to show off his strength. 300 years before the events of the series, Veldora had trashed an unnamed human city and, according to him, unintentionally destroyed Demon Lord Luminous Valentine's vampire nation, the Night Rose, which had attracted the attention of the summoned hero. He was subsequently defeated by the hero and was then imprisoned by her inside her unlimited imprisonment, sentencing him to live the rest of his days in monotonous boredom to reflect on what he has done. However, he would one day meet a curious slime that wandered into where he was imprisoned, and after a while they became friends. After befriending the slime, they both gave each other names. The slime was given the name of Rimuru Tempest and Veldora became Veldora Tempest. Rimuru then suggests that he could swallow the unlimited imprisonment along with Veldora inside so they can both study the spell and eventually find a way to break it. Veldora agreed to this idea and spent a year inside Rimuru, but when he evolved and awakened as a true Demon Lord, Veldora was finally released from his imprisonment and given a clone body of Rimuru to inhabit. During the process, he established a soul corridor with Rimuru, making him now essentially immortal. Because with his memories stored inside of Rimuru, he can now be summoned again no matter what happens to him. After acquiring his new body, Veldora's unique skill Inquirer evolved into his new ultimate skill Investigation King FAUST, which is a power to analyze things and reach the ultimate truth. Later on in the series, his Investigation King FAUST would evolve or reform by Cell into a new ultimate skill, the King of Chaos. 暴風竜ベルドラテンペスト完全復活逆らう者は皆殺しだ So that's all for the true dragons of that time I got reincarnated as a slime, and which of the true dragons are your favorite. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell for more future Tensura videos. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe everyone.